Hello, everyone. My name is Moshe Nave from the SAP community team. Welcome to today's SAP community call, SAP Fiori custom code migration app, analyze your custom code for SAP S/4HANA and cloud. During the call, if you have a question, please feel free to use the Q&A tab and also, of course, use the chat. I'll hand it over to Cecilia to kick off the call. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Moshe. So hi, everybody. Just a warm welcome from my side. I'm Ceci Huergo, and we are back with another session on how you can use SAP Business Technology Platform capabilities in your Rise with SAP or any digital transformation use case. Today, we're very lucky to have Olga here on the call. She is an experienced ABAP product manager, and she's going to walk us through the use cases of the SAP Fiori custom code migration app. She's also going to show you the tool and show you how to navigate and how to use it and how to leverage these capabilities to understand what code you need to move to the cloud. So as a reminder, as Moshe mentioned, these sessions are for you guys, and we want to be able to answer as many of your questions as possible. So feel free during the presentation, during Olga's demo, just to submit your questions in the Q&A. And in the second part of the call, we'll be handling those questions live. Of course, if there's anything that we can't answer right now on the spot, or if we have too many questions for the length of the call, don't worry, because I will be putting together a wrap-up or a recap blog by the end of the week, in which we'll answer all the remaining questions and also share their video recording and the slides and everything that we showed here. So yeah, that's it from my side. So Olga, welcome. Thank you for being a part of the call, and the stage is yours.
Okay, thank you, Ceci, and also warm welcome from my side. And my name is Olga Dolinska. I'm product manager for ABAP platform, and today I will talk about the custom code migration app, how the app helps you to analyze your custom code for SAP S/4HANA and during cloud transition. So let's step directly into the presentation. Rise with SAP, as you probably know, is the new business transformation as a service offering of SAP, which provides the path for you to an intelligent enterprise. And this business transformation consists of 3 simple steps: business process redesign, technical migration, and building your intelligent enterprise. And technical migration comprises the tools and services from SAP for the smooth transformation, including also identification of custom code, which is suitable for migration. Since the custom code migration topic is so important for you as customers, we have included custom code migration app into the Rise bundle, and it is available in every Rise for SAP subscription. And with Rise with SAP, you can set up the custom code migration app directly in SAP BTP inside of ABAP environment there, and it can be entitled using the Cloud Platform Enterprise Agreement credits, which are included into your Rise with SAP offer. Over the past years, SAP customers have heavily extended and modified SAP solutions. There are SAP ERP systems with a few million lines of custom code. During system conversion to SAP S/4HANA or custom code migration to SAP BTP, to the ABAP environment in the cloud, customers need to define the scope of custom code for migration and adapt it for SAP S/4HANA or SAP BTP ABAP environment accordingly. And thereby, customers face the following challenges. The understanding about the custom code impact must be won in a very early stage of the migration project. In an average SAP ERP system, a large part of custom code is never executed in the production system, and therefore this unused custom code should be identified and removed. Beyond this, all impacted custom code objects must be either adapted or deleted. And the complex custom code causes high adaptation maintenance costs for user customers. And if you just go lift and shift for lift and shift approach and just move the custom code, to the new world, then it will cause you also high adaptation and maintenance costs. Custom Code Migration app is the tool of choice to support custom code migration projects within S/4HANA conversions or moving to the SAP BTP ABAP environment. Custom Code Migration app allows you to analyze the custom code on SAP system for SAP S/4HANA or SAP BTP, depending on your custom code migration project. It supports simplified custom code remediation. It's able to identify and remove unused code and subsequently automatically reduce scope of custom code migration activities. It offers also advanced clean code dashboard that allow to identify most expensive custom code as candidates for back to standard and various redesign activities. And you can also identify custom code which can be adapted to SAP S/4HANA or SAP BTP ABAP environment in a semi-automated way using mass-enabled quick fixes in ABAP Development Tools and Eclipse. Also, it can be offered using the automated setup and configuration via the guided workflow in SAP BTP ABAP environment. What are the benefits for you as customers? Of course, if you know the custom code issues in advance, it will help you to better plan your adaptation effort. And if you identify and remove the obsolete code, the unused code, then you save the costs for adaptation and future maintenance of your custom code. Beyond this, the advanced analysis capabilities help you to understand the impact of your custom code for the migration, and the custom code adaptation via the automated quick fixes will significantly help you to reduce the manual work. Besides that, if you identify which of your custom code developments are really complex, then you may benefit from various back to standard and redesign activities if you start them on your custom code. Custom Code Migration app consists of two high-level features, scoping and analysis. Scoping means you define the custom code which is in scope for SAP S/4HANA migration or for SAP BTP, and analysis helps you to analyze your custom code for SAP S/4HANA readiness or for SAP BTP readiness. Scoping includes uploading usage data for your custom code, so you can consider the collected usage data. And you define your custom code migration scope based on this information. Of course, anytime you can adjust the scope manually, and you can also identify the complex custom code developments in order to remove them from your scope for SAP S/4HANA or BTP, or to do the redesign of them. The analysis is based on remote ABAP test cockpit, and it offers analytical representation of custom code analysis results with different charts and diagrams which help you to customize the view on your analysis results. Also, we have the burned out chart. If you execute analysis sometimes, then you can fix the findings in between. Then you can see the distribution of the analysis results over time, how they go lower. And you have different filters and graphical capabilities. You have the capability to identify the custom code which can be adapted automatically using quick fixes. And of course, you have different detailed capabilities. You can navigate to the finding, or you can navigate directly also to the source code. The custom code migration app supports following use cases. You can analyze your custom code for migration to SAP S/4HANA, and we recommend it really to do for the tightly coupled custom code which cannot be transmitted to SAP BTP, and for loosely coupled custom code if you decide to move some custom code parts to the SAP BTP, you can execute analysis of custom code for migration to SAP BTP. So these are two main use cases for custom code migration. And the process of migration to SAP S/4HANA looks as this following. First, you need to define the scope of custom code, which custom code will go to SAP S/4HANA. Then we recommend to use the complexity analysis in order to identify the scope which will really go to SAP S/4HANA and eliminate obsolete code, eliminate unused code, or identify the code for SAP BTP or back to standard and redesign. The app supports you with this idea to analyze the complexity of custom code, and then you can analyze the remaining part for SAP S/4HANA transmission and move the custom code to SAP S/4HANA during, for example, S/4HANA conversion. And then after you are on SAP S/4HANA system, you can adapt it accordingly to make it runnable on SAP S/4HANA. Let's take a look at these process steps in detail. First, you begin with the scoping of custom code, which custom code you need to move to SAP S/4HANA. And our statistics from the past 15 years show that on average, about 30 to 60% of custom code in a middle SAP ERP system is not executed. And therefore, removing such unused and obsolete code will significantly reduce the effort for custom code adaptation. And of course, this way also pay off during the future S/4HANA upgrades and transformation to SAP BTP, since you reduce the amount of the custom code. Identification of unused custom code starts with gaining understanding about its usage in your productive environment. And therefore, SAP recommendation is at least 1 year prior to your S/4HANA conversion project or BTP transformation project to collect usage data in your productive system using ABAP Call Monitor and SUCG. These are the tools which are available directly in SAP ERP system. You can turn them on without any performance influence on your system. And of course, you can still use usage procedure login if you, for example, use Solution Manager. But the advantage of these tools are that you can use them directly on SAP ERP system without Solution Manager, and you collect the usage data with ABAP Call Monitor, SCMON transaction, and aggregate them using the SUCG transaction. And after you collected the usage data, you can use the custom code migration app and upload the usage data there in order to define the initial custom code migration scope. And of course, you can anytime adjust your custom code scope manually. And for the unused code, which you eliminate from the scope, you can create deletion transport and remove the unused code during S/4HANA conversion automatically using Software Update Manager. If you don't want to remove the custom code because maybe you will need it later at the point of time, then you can just back up this custom code in using downsized productive ERP system or downsized development system. And if you need this custom code later on, you can just import it into your S/4HANA system. So it's to have the backup is also possible. Okay. After during you do the scoping of the custom code for SAP S/4HANA, we recommend to do the complexity analysis of your custom code. The thing is that the reusing the custom code from today's ERP is often considered as obvious, and many projects just lift and shift the custom code from ERP to SAP S/4HANA. And before you start just to copy your existing custom code to SAP S/4HANA, please consider the following. First, if you can copy the custom code there, you must adapt the whole copied custom code on the new S/4HANA system. And also the complex custom code pieces will also have quality issues, maybe need performance optimizations, and at the end, you often end up in copying much code in your system than you originally intended, because the dependencies of other development packages and amount of copied custom code will grow, and therefore also your maintenance efforts will grow for this custom code. And also More important, the second point is that many of your current implementations are likely to be outdated, both technically and functionally, because they may rely on modification, clones of SAP standard code, old style enhancement techniques, or old business logic. And therefore, we decided to implement this complexity dashboard, which will help you to identify such candidates of custom code for various redesign activities. It works as the following. When you define custom code scope, you can also display the complexity of custom code migration project in a graphic. It summarizes the number of relevant changes in accordance with the complexity of the custom code, and it helps you to estimate the complexity and effort of your custom code migration activities in advance. And also we have made the experience that the most complex packages very often also experience the most frequent changes and therefore increase the maintenance cost for your custom code. So you can use this dashboard as a technical metric to prioritize which of your custom developments need a redesign. And after you have identified your complex custom code developments, next step is to review them. And the review procedure of custom code should include the following steps. You must first reconfirm the need of the current custom code functionality with the business. So evaluate this functionality, and then you can evaluate if you can use the back to standard activities, and if you can re-implement the same functionality using an app or side-by-side extensibility scope. And the remaining part of the custom code can you just lift and shift to the new S/4HANA system. And this complexity analysis offers you the recognition of these complex development packages and the follow-up activities like relating functionality or thinking about extensibility and so on. You must do by yourself. The app doesn't offer currently support for it. After you have decided which custom code goes to SAP S/4HANA, you can analyze it. And for analysis, we offer different analysis filters. You can filter the findings by the most expensive simplification areas and by priorities. You can find out which findings in your custom code can be adapted automatically using the quick fixes. And you can, if you adapt some findings and then do the analysis again, you can benefit from the findings burn down chart, which will show you how your findings go down. Okay, and now I have talked a lot about the custom code migration app and about its different capabilities. I think it's now time for the demo. Okay, I've just log on to the system. Okay, now I'm on SAP BTP ABAP Environment on my Fiori Launchpad, and I will start custom code migration app. And I will create S/4HANA conversion project, S/4HANA migration. And here, if you create this project, you can enter here the description, you can enter your target release. Here, for example, you can choose the S/4HANA target release and transition scenario if you want to use the custom code migration for this during the system conversion or for the new implementation, so-called greenfield approach. And here you provide the connection to your remote system. And you can also provide the connection to the system for uploading the usage data. So you just press here this add button, provide the connection to the system, this one, and you can upload it if you collected the usage data beforehand using, for example, a Simon or a SUCG, a ABAP Monitor. You can upload your usage data here. So, and now I'm finished and I can press create button, and the custom code migration app will create the project and will start to do the scoping automatically based on uploaded usage data, and we'll start to do the analysis of custom code. It can take some time, therefore I just press cancel here and show you the project which I prepared beforehand. So ERP S/4HANA conversion, just start this one. And you see here the analysis was run already, and the scoping was done based on the uploaded usage data. And I have about 700 findings in my custom code. So I can do the scoping, and in the scope, you see this diagram which shows which custom code objects are in scope, how much of them via collected usage data, and you see also how many objects are in scope by reference, meaning which objects are statically referenced by the executed objects. They will be also added to the scope automatically. And I can also anytime change the scope manually. And for example, I can here select the package and tell, okay, now I would like to add this package to the scope or remove the package from the scope. And for example, if you have new developments for which the usage data does not exist, then you can add here these new developments to the scope. And after you have finished the scope definition, you can go here to the packages view, and here you see the view on the complexity diagram. And here you see the most complex executables are placed regularly in SAP ERP system here in the upper right corner of this diagram. So you need to focus on them. I have here some where you can display the details about it. For example, the complexity index is high and number of changes is also high. So maybe this is a candidate which I need to review and think about the redesign or in-app or side-by-side extensibility and so on. This is indication for me to understand which custom code needs their redesign, which custom code is complex. And in the original SAP ERP system, if you take the view, this complexity view on your custom code, you will see that your custom code will be placed along this diagonal, and you will see a lot of complex custom code packages on the right upper corner, and we recommend to focus on 25 to 50 top complex packages for the redesign, for reviewing of them if they are necessary as they are, or redesign of them. After you have finished with the scoping, you can take a look at the analysis. Because the analysis was already executed in this project, I can navigate directly to the findings list. And here you see the findings results in the table here below. It looks like in SAP GUI transaction ATC. This is actually the same view, but additionally you have here different filters. And for example, I can focus my view on and use these compact filters and focus the view on the package, for example. Let's pick up this one. Let's just do it again. Okay, and then the app will present the view only on this on the results of in this particular package. And also, if I'm, for example, interested in how many of my custom code objects are using BCG or conf tables, then I can just select these objects, standard SAP objects here, and see how many of custom code objects refer to this particular SAP standard objects. Additionally to that, you have these visual filters, and we will take a look at this middle part of the diagram. And here, if you just select another view, like view by the simplification items, for example, I can select in my custom code which are the mostly referred simplification items in my custom code. What are the top simplification items which are touched in my custom code? And just select these bars, which are the longest bars, and I will see the results which are configured accordingly. So you have here also different views on the findings. You can also create your own view and customize it. And I would like now to use these visual filters above, and I will select here the standard view, where I will see all the visual filters. And I would like to focus on the findings which are in scope for SAP S/4HANA, which are in the custom code, which is in scope for SAP S/4HANA migration. And I also would like to focus on the findings which for which there are no quick fixes available. So these are the findings which I would need to fix automatically. And you see the list of the findings becomes shorter. And I also would like to focus on the findings which have only functional issues, maybe, which means that only the ABAP developer with the application knowledge can fix such findings, and not a generalist of ABAP. And so you see here that the list is pretty short, and I can pick up here custom code object and focus on the details of it. So I just navigate to the details, and you see here, this is the object name, package, and this custom code object refers to the SAP standard object MatchERP, and there is an issue that the functionality is not available. And I need to consult this SAP node number to understand what to do with this particular issue. I can also navigate to the source code, and the source code line which shows me where this issue happens in my custom code. And this called transaction MatchERP 03. This transaction doesn't exist in SAP S/4HANA, so I need to consult the SAP node and I need to fix these findings. So you get here also a detailed analysis of the findings results. You have also here the capability to export the finding list to the Excel sheet, or you can also export it in the format which can be uploaded to the SAP readiness check as well. So this is here. So this is the overview of the available features in the custom code migration app for SAP S/4HANA conversion. And you see here there is another capability. If you want to use the S/4HANA greenfield approach and install the brand new S/4HANA system and want to take your custom code over there, you can create so-called greenfield project. I also created it beforehand. And no, just show you the project. And okay, just do the refresh to see it better. And this is the project which is dedicated to the custom code, which can be taken over to the SAP S/4HANA greenfield system. And the difference to the S/4HANA conversion is that you need to define the scope manually. And initially, nothing is in scope. For such project, you need to select the custom code which you would like to transmit to the S/4HANA greenfield system. And after you are ready with it, you can press here the button, save scope as transport, and the corresponding transport will be created on the ERP system, and you can take it over to the new S/4HANA system. So this is the only difference, because in the S/4HANA conversion project, you have, after you have defined the scope, you can press another button, create deletion transport, and this transport will be created on SAP ERP system. And during system conversion, you can add it to the software update manager in order to delete unused code from the system. So here is create deletion transport in the greenfield project. You save just the defined scope of the custom code for the SAP S/4HANA. Okay, let's go back to the slides. After you have analyzed your custom code for S/4HANA readiness, and after you have moved it to SAP S/4HANA, we offer also automated adaptation via the quick fixes directly on S/4HANA system. They are available in ABAP Development Tools and Eclipse. And you can, for the most prominent and known simplification use cases, you can expect about 60% of your custom code findings, which can be automatically adapted on the new S/4HANA system. And the quick fixes cover typical simplification use cases, like, for example, material number and amount field length extension, or data model changes, and so on. And beyond this, you can use the quick fixes in as pass-enabled quick fixes, so you can execute all of them just in one shot and adapt all your findings in SAP S/4HANA. And I can also show you the small demo about the quick fixes. And here I'm on SAP S/4HANA system, and I have here the package with my custom code objects, and I can just execute ABAP Test Cockpit over it, and using S/4HANA readiness check variant. And I will check the custom code for S/4HANA readiness directly to SAP S/4HANA on SAP S/4HANA system locally, and in order to be able to have the basis for applying the quick fixes. So this is the ABAP Test Cockpit result list, which is actually the same which you have seen in the custom code migration app. And I can just either go to the source code and using the quick fix Ctrl+1 shortcut, see what can I automatically adapt, like here, for example, replace select by API call, or I can just select the whole list of the findings and use the must enabled quick fixes. I use just these recommended quick fixes wizard, and you see that the majority of the findings can be fixed automatically. Go to the next button, and you see here for each of your custom code migration, or for each of your custom code objects, how it looks and how it will look after applying the quick fix. And also here you will see in this comment what the quick fix will do on your custom code objects. It's possible to turn on such commands on S/4HANA system in order to the protocol to write down as command how the original source code looked like before applying the quick fix. And here the quick fix recommends me to replace the select through the API call, and here also select from the table BCG by API call. And here you see a lot of quick fixes for the SD simplifications, like selecting, adding order by, for example, in selects, or replacing the VBAC table accesses with other things because the VBAC was eliminated in SAP S/4HANA, and so on. And you can here navigate between different quick fixes and see how they will adapt to your custom code. And if you are agreed with the proposed changes to the custom code, you can just press finish button, and the quick fixes will be executed at one shot and will adapt the custom code. Okay, this was about the quick fixes. And now let's take a look at another use case for the migration to SAP BTP, how the process looks like. You also start with the scoping of custom code for SAP BTP. So you need to think about which application you would like to move to SAP BTP. This is probably the application which is loosely coupled with SAP standard code, which doesn't use reenforce and which is suitable for running on SAP BTP. And you can then analyze it for BTP readiness. You can move it to SAP BTP, and we recommend for for moving the custom code to SAP BTP currently to use the ABAP Git, export your custom code from the system using ABAP Git and deposit it on the Git repository and then import it again into the cloud system using ABAP Git plugin and ABAP Development Tools in Eclipse. And then you can adapt your custom code. And again, use the custom code migration app to define the scope. And in this case of SAP BTP migration project, the scoping must be done manually. You define manually which custom code you would like to take over to SAP S/4HANA, and the scoping which also will also automatically scope the dependent objects of your custom code objects, and you can save the scope as transport request. And after analysis are run, you can take a look at the analysis results, and the custom code migration app analyzes your custom code for use of not supported technologies in the cloud, like for example, DIMPRA, for usage of not released objects, which are not usable in the SAP BTP ABAP environment, and if your custom code uses not compatible ABAP statements with ABAP language version cloud. And again, you have detailed analysis of the finding, and you can see which findings can be adapted using the quick fixes, and you can download analysis results, navigate to the details of the findings, and so on. So let me just briefly show you this custom code migration project. So you created SAP BTP migration project also in this way. You give it a name and you give the access to the remote system which you would like to analyze with the custom code migration app. And I have also prepared such project beforehand. This is this one. Just start it again. Okay. SAP BTP migration project. And also I have uploaded the usage data here, which I can also use as a basis for understanding how my custom code application is used. And here the scoping is empty now, and I can change the scoping and select the package with the application which I would like to move to the cloud. And here, for example, I can just select the package and press an add package to the scope, and this application will be added to the scope for the SAP BTP migration. And here the analysis is run. So you have the findings for actually the whole system. And I know that I would like to focus only on the custom code package which I would like to move to the cloud. Therefore, I will use this compact filter, and the package which I would like to move is Z-Flight evaluation. So I will get the findings displayed only for this particular package. And I see here so many findings I have for the usage of the for not allowed ABAP statements in the cloud, for using of not allowed ABAP statements in the cloud in my custom code, or so many of my custom code objects are using the non-released APIs for the cloud, or for example, so many of my custom code objects using the object types which are not supported in the cloud, like for example, transaction or program. And of course, here you can also navigate to the detailed results of the finding and see what's happening here. Maybe we'll just pick up another one. Restricted language scope. Let's pick up this one, and you see that this custom code object is using the refresh statement, and refresh statement is obsolete in the cloud. You need to use the clear statement. And I can also navigate directly to the source code and see where this custom code objects uses this statement. So this is exactly this corresponding source code line. So in this way, you can analyze your custom code for BTP readiness, and you can focus on different aspects, and you see different use cases or which are not allowed in the cloud, and so on. And after you have analyzed your custom code for the BTP and you have moved your custom code to the SAP BTP ABAP environment, you can also adapt it using the same quick fixes. The quick fixes for cloud are also available in ABAP Development Tools in Eclipse, and they work the same way as for S/4HANA adaptation. They allow you to adapt your custom code to ABAP language version cloud, adapt to usage of released objects, and so on. And also you can benefit from the mass-enabled quick fixes. So for example, I can execute for my package ABAP Test Cockpit here for with SAP CPU readiness check variant, which will allow me to check my custom code for BTP readiness. And in the end, you will get the list with the findings in your custom code, which must be corrected for the cloud usage. So you see here, for example, my custom code objects here use non-released APIs, or there is a syntax error in restricted language scope, and so on. And you can again mark the whole list with the findings and use the mass-enabled quick fixes here. And here you can take a look what is the issue in custom code and what the quick fix will do on it. Here, for example, using the old SQL and new SQL, and let's here, for example, order buys will be found. Again, order by, and yeah, maybe I will find another example here. Okay, but can find it so quickly, but actually here you will get all the proposed changes with the quick fixes, which are here. Exactly, I see it here. For example, the custom Boolean type was used, this flag here, and actually there is only one allowed data type above Boolean in the cloud, which should be used. So all these things will be founded by the quick fixes, and you can apply the quick fixes at one shot to fix all of them. How you can get started with the custom code migration app? We offer in the SAP Discovery Center dedicated mission, which allows you to analyze your ABAP custom code for S/4HANA readiness. And you get the custom code migration app here automatically set up and configured using the cloud integration automation service guided workflow. And you will get here the guided step-by-step custom code analysis. So we recommend to get started using this SAP Discovery Center mission. Okay, and a lot of information about custom code migration, about adaptation of custom code for SAP S/4HANA, for SAP BTP is also provided in our dedicated community for ABAP testing and analysis in the form of short blogs. So I recommend and really encourage you to visit the community and to take a look at the featured content, and also to expert areas about the custom code adaptation for SAP S/4HANA and custom code analysis for cloud. So you will see here all the information which I provided today to you is also described in detail using these small blogs. Okay, thank you very much for attention. And let's see if we have questions which I can answer now.
All right, so thank you, Olga, for that presentation. We do have a few questions actually, so let's see if we can cover them now. If not, we'll just cover them in the wrap-up blog. So maybe the first one that was submitted by Anonymous. So he's always on the calls. I really like really like talking to him. So the question is basically, where should we run this Fiori app? Is it on the customer landscape or in an internal system, which I think you showed in the demo actually? And he asking that's just to analyze and find out how costly it would be to use current code.
You should use this Fiori app on the SAP BTP ABAP environment. So the app is for free. You need only to purchase the entitlement to SAP BTP ABAP environment. And of course, if the customer wants to analyze his code, then he runs it on his landscape. If the partner wants to analyze customer code, then the partner connects to the customer system and analyzes in this way. So it depends on the use case where do you run the app, but not on internal system. Of course, it's also possible to run the custom code migration app inside of on-premise S/4HANA system. This is also possible. The app is also available on-premise.
Okay.
To analyze and find out how costly would be to use the current code, the first approach for this offers the complexity analysis. You can find out which of your custom code developments are really complex ones.
Perfect. And then, of course, data from the customer system can be uploaded, but it depends on, like you said, on the use case and on the kind of the restrictions and data requirements that are set for each customer. Right?
The upload functionality is available for usage data. You can upload the usage data, but you cannot upload it, the analysis data from the system.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, then we have Pankaj, who actually asked, is this app suitable for checking ECC system for BTP readiness?
Of course, this is the second use case which I presented, because actually the custom code migration projects involve analysis of ERP system for S/4HANA readiness or BTP readiness. Therefore, this is fully applicable. This is exactly the use case which I explained. You need to check the custom code in your ERP system for BTP.
Good. And then a related question is kind of the version. So Sumit is asking if they can use this app for ECC 6.0 EHP 8.
You can use the app to analyze this system, but the app itself must be used either in SAP BTP ABAP environment on SAP BTP platform, or it must be set up in an on-premise S/4HANA system.
Okay, perfect. Okay, good. And then the last question that we have now, I mean, if others have questions, they can just continue to submit them. But from Pankaj, again, he's asking if this app also analyzes.
The answer is yes.
Okay, the answer is yes. So it's
yes.
body, user exit, all these. Okay.
All these things, the scope is the same as in ABAP Test Cockpit, and all these things are supported.
Perfect. All right, thank you. So that was it for the live questions that we had. I'd also just maybe like to add kind of my takeaway from the session before we close. It's very interesting if we kind of draw comparisons between the session that we had last month on the integration suite and the journey from moving your on-prem integrations or your custom integrations into the cloud and using standardized content to this journey with the ABAP custom code as well, because I think we can see from both aspects that what we're trying to support from the SAP side is really providing that standard content out of the box that our customers can leverage directly so that they don't have to maintain it. It's not costly because it comes directly with the SAP solution. But in those cases where those enhancements are not yet available because maybe, we're still working on them or they're very specific to the business, we give you these types of tools like with, Integration Suite in the cloud and the API Business Hub, or with this custom code migration app so that you can see and you can adapt your code accordingly. And I think when you showed the demo, it was really interesting. It's not just about the analysis. So it's not just about saying, you know, this isn't possible or this can be moved, this can't be moved. It's really about giving those extra options, those recommendations, that step-by-step information, like you showed in, you know, in the Eclipse tooling for the ABAP Development Tools, or like you showed in the Fiori app itself, where it was linking maybe to an SAP note or more information, so the customers actually know what to do. Customers and partners know what to do with the information they're seeing. So that was very interesting to see live.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome. All right, so thank you again, everybody, for joining the call. Thank you, Olga, for doing the demo, for doing this excellent presentation. We added some links in the chat to especially the Discovery Center mission that you mentioned. The community link is right there. As I mentioned in the beginning, we will be posting a wrap-up blog with the session, with the recording and the slides later on this week. So look out for that. And I think, you know, if there are any other questions or any other kind of things that come up, they can always reach out to us through the SAP community, right, Olga?
Yes, you can also feel free anytime to contact me personally, or if you have any questions, I also happy to receive them, to answer them.
Perfect. And maybe before we close, I see one more question.
Okay, let's take a look at this one.
Yeah. So Sumit wants to know the minimum S/4HANA on-prem system version required to use the app.
1809.
1809. Perfect. So 1809 and onwards can be used with the app. Awesome. All right. So we got everything in. Again, thank you everybody for joining the call, and I hope to see you next time.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.